Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Force Strategy Gaming. How's everyone doing today? Today is Thursday, and that means team games here at Force Strategy Gaming. And we're going to be taking a look at another 2v2. This will be a commentary. This was sent to me by a lovely member of the Force Strategy Gaming community. Now, if you've got some great Masters level team games that you would like me to cast, commentate on, or do strategy videos for, you can send that to me at force@forcestrategygaming.com. But let's get into this game. Team number one here is going to be sPsDice, the Zerg player, and ReviLLuSion, the Terran player, versus two Zergs who are six-pooling. We have got KreAtuRe. I don't know how I'm going to call him, and then ConfusedGoat. So we've got Goat, the blue Zerg player, and the red Zerg player, KreAtuRe. I'm probably KreAtuRe. Ha, there it is. Good job, Force. So KreAtuRe and Goat as the double Zerg players, six-pooling versus Dice over here and ReviLLuSion. Jeez, I'm having such a hard name, such a hard time with names, the Terran player. So wow, this is pretty interesting. And right about now, we are going to see Dice scout out that six pool. He will be moving right into the base here of Goat in just one moment. He will be seeing that six pool. There we go, spawning pool just about to pop now. So now he will be aware, hey, there's a six pool coming. Let me check the other Zerg player here as well. And how are they going to defend against this? Now, we did just see that extractor get canceled. Dice, realizing that six pool is coming, doesn't want to bother trying to go for extractor first, realizes he needs that pull down very, very quickly. We do have the 12 Zerglings will be en route. Starting here, ReviLLuSion does want to, of course, get this wall off. We'll be dropping off a second barracks there. Obviously not coming out with that refinery because trying to get gas this early when you're getting double six pools can be very hard. Now, one issue is that he is dealing with quite a bit of harassment here in terms of worker harass. So he's going to have to make sure he gets another worker down here to continue this construction. He ended up actually losing a worker there. Now, we can see the drone coming down from KreAtuRe to try to help deal with this. Unfortunately, with the creep spread, though, they can't get a full wall off. And here come the 12 Zerglings moving right into the main base. They will, of course, be trying to hit Dice first. If they can take out Dice, he'll be in a lot of trouble. You can see him right now using the mineral trick to try to bunch up all of his workers, try to deal with the Zergling harass as best as possible. And there we go, finally getting a full wall off. And actually, ReviLLuSion was able to fit a barracks in there, even though the creep did extend. It looked like it was going to block it off. And right now, ReviLLuSion may be forced to pull down with these SCVs. Drones in the mix as well. We finally have some Marines in play. Just want to use those workers as a buffer, if at all possible. The Marine does get dropped. The second Marine is out. And there we go. Six pool has been stopped, but obviously we did see Dice take a bit of damage. And never mind, there were still some Zerglings from Dice, finally able to mop up the rest of the Zerglings from that double six pool from KreAtuRe and Goat. So KreAtuRe and Goat did manage to do quite a bit of damage to Dice. Let's take a quick look here at the unit loss tab. We can see 625 resources and 350 lost here for both ReviLLuSion and Dice. We'll call these guys Team 1. And Team 2, the double six pooling Zergs here, only lost a total of 400 resources. Now, with that said, economically, there is a big advantage that will be going here. I would say to ReviLLuSion in particular. Taking a look over here, we can see the 241A. So actually, no, never mind. Wow, surprisingly enough, since they didn't lose any workers, their six pool did more damage than it did harm. So the Zerg team, the double Zerg team, does look to be at the advantage right now. Now you might be questioning first and foremost the level of play, or what are we looking at here in particular. Well, this is a Masters level game, and with specifically the replays and the videos that I have requested from you folks in the community is Masters level, simply because I know that that's the most enjoyable to watch. Look at all this dancing going on. They're actually thrilled that they survived that six pool. That is really funny, actually. We do have another push out coming here from ConfusedGoat, though. He does have one Zergling separating off from the pact, and that will be used to grab his Xel'Naga tower. I do wonder, yes, he'll just keep these guys at the Xel'Naga tower over here as well, and we can see KreAtuRe's Overlord. So they do have pretty good vision of the map. We can see Team 2 can spot pretty much anything coming across the middle there. Now back over here for Team 1, KreAtuRe and Goat. What do they have going on? We don't see any sort of a transition as of yet. Looks like there is a Roach Warren here for KreAtuRe, and is Goat doing the same? Yes, he is. So they will be switching right into Roaches right now, trying to move out and do a bit of damage with that. Now we can see a bunch of Marines as well as the Zerglings here of Dice moving across the map. Would like to see them actually try to engage those Zerglings. There we go. Early on, these Marines will of course do quite well against this pack of Zerglings. So very nice there by ReviLLuSion and Dice. And it looks like they will continue to move across the map. And actually, we did see Goat pull his Zergling away from that Xel'Naga for fear of losing it. We'll be heading back to the main base. Now, here's that transition to Roaches right now. We do also have Metabolic Boost right now coming out for KreAtuRe. So does, of course, want to get those Speedlings, allowing him to have a little bit more mobility early on in the game and try to maybe get a little bit of map control. Now I'm a little bit concerned right now for our double Zerg team because this could do a lot of damage. However, once they get a decent amount of roaches in play, they should be okay because those roaches will do well against both the Marines and those Zerglings there. Wall off, of course, still complete. Just pumping out those regular barracks. Still no gas right now. Just pumping out massive amounts of Marines. They do, of course, want to return fire here and try to do a bit of damage. ConfusedGoat ready to block, though. The Zerglings of Dice did get mopped up pretty quickly there. Still nothing else going on besides that. Do we have Metabolic Boost coming out over here for Dice as well? Yes, we do. He does have Metabolic Boost, and it looks like ReviLLuSion, it will be moving into an expansion as well. Right now, again, still a massive Marine sitting outside of our double Zerg team, KreAtuRe and Goat's base. We do have a ton more roaches coming out right now for KreAtuRe. Yeah, wow, that's a lot of roaches, so they might be moving out for a secondary attack with this roach-heavy build right now. Also, Metabolic Boost coming out here for Goat as well. Looks like KreAtuRe's Metabolic Boost is complete, though he doesn't have a ton of Zerglings because he is making, again, that Roach transition. None of these players are looking to expand right now except for ReviLLuSion. I'm very interested to see that he's doing that. It looks like he will be trying to go for the high yield right now, using his big group of Marines to try to knock down the small amount of destructible debris here. But here comes another push out from KreAtuRe. He will be moving out with those Zerglings as well as those Roaches, and it looks like his buddy Goat will be following suit right behind him as well. A couple of Marines chasing down some of these Zerglings over here, but getting surrounded, and the Roaches managing to mop them up as well. There's a large force right now for Goat and KreAtuRe moving across the map. I keep forgetting these names here. Taking a look here at the army tab, we can see 42 and 41 supplies as opposed to 31 and 35. So right now, ReviLLuSion as well as Dice looking to be a little lackluster in terms of army size, actually coming down with triple bunkers at the front. They are worried about this push, and this is looking to be a little bit dangerous. There are a lot of roaches in there. They will be used to try to break down this wall and then allow those Zerglings to stream on in. Marines trying to block them off if at all possible. A couple spines going down, but here we go. Roaches target firing down the depot and letting those Zerglings pull on in right now. Dice moving forward to engage as well. Roaches will be taking out the Lings and those Marines pretty quickly. We do need to get those Marines down those bunkers as quickly as possible. Roaches do want to try to target fire down the SCVs if they can. There we go. Some Marines pulling right into the bunker. We'll want to see mass repairs on those. We do have a one Marauder out as well, and what is he doing? Just kind of dancing around. He needs to get in a bunker. He's taking the longest way possible and moving right in front of those Roaches, and actually Marines pulling on out. There we go, allowing one of the Marauders to get on in. Marines in this one as well, and unbelievably, with that mass repair as well as the bunkers, they were able to fend this off. Now the Roaches are still in play, and they still do have an opportunity to do a bit of damage, but it looks like they won't be pushing quite to the strength that they were just a moment ago. They were fended off. Nice play with those bunkers by ReviLLuSion. Also, those spines coming to play certainly helped quite a bit as well. Alright, so far we have seen some pretty intense aggression, and it looks like still in the center of the map right now with those Roaches, we do have KreAtuRe and Goat doing a good job of maintaining map control. Now we do have a couple Speedlings moving across the board. Obviously, that big advantage is that they're so much quicker than those Roaches, especially off the creep. Roaches very, very slow off creep, even with their upgrades, and I'm not quite sure. No, it does not look like they have upgrades yet. There is no layer tech in play for either player. We do see KreAtuRe moving out for an expansion. It actually looks like, yes, we will be seeing his ally Goat move out for an expansion as well. Right now, we do have ReviLLuSion moving out to the high yield with the Marines and Marauders, still just sticking with that as his general unit composition. Back over here, Zerglings right in the middle of the map for Dice, and we'll be moving across, but needs to be careful. Does not, again, want to engage those Roaches. Even, I mean, in all honesty, even if he quite unnumbers the forces there with those couple of Speedlings and that good mix of Roaches, he would pretty much lose all of those Zerglings, and there's really no reason to just throw them away without any real benefit. Only engage if you have that clear, distinct advantage. That's kind of the idea. And anyways, right now, it needs to be careful. Again, getting off guard by a couple of those Roaches. Now, we do have that expansion up right now for Dice over here, and again, we do have ReviLLuSion with this high yield expansion, so if he can maintain this, this may help them come back in the game, because as of now, it seems like the Zerg team, the Zerg and Terran team, are a bit behind. Couple bunkers going down to try to defend this as well. Taking a look here at the unit loss tab, we can see even up the numbers a little bit in that last engagement with the defense against that Roach Zergling push, but still, it looks like teal and purple team number 1, we'll refer to them as, is a bit behind. So right now we do have Dice moving across just to check for that expansion. I don't think they've checked in the upper left right now. That is, of course, where Goat and KreAtuRe have expanded. And Zerglings and Banelings coming dangerously close to the Zerglings here of Dice. Dice forced to pull back right now, and there is again going to be another big push. ReviLLuSion is primed and ready to deal with it. Stim pack is not quite finished though, and this is a problem because he could really use that stim right now. This is a heavy push coming from KreAtuRe and Go, and not looking good right now. Banelings trying to push away those Zerglings. Very nice positioning with those. Roaches will be taking out this expansion. There's no doubt about that. I am not quite sure what ReviLLuSion could do to actually save this right now, so forced to lift that off, pull away with the SCVs. Now, we do still have the bunkers up here, but is it going to be enough? Going to be busting right through that one depot right there. Also trying to target down those spines. Did so much damage. A lot of those roaches target fire those as well, and this is looking very, very dangerous right now. This roach push is going to be causing a lot of damage. We do have some additional buildings being placed down, tons of barracks in fact, but look at all of these roaches inside of the main. The speedlings here of Dice mopping up that small group of roaches, but there's still all these roaches left here from Goat, and they do have an opportunity to do quite a bit of damage. ReviLLuSion sitting with a few of his SCVs right there. Would like to actually see him put those into play and engage with those. And here we go, some more units from Goat, some more roaches pulling across the map here as well. Continued reinforcements of roaches here for Goat, and Goat is just keeping this up as much as possible. KreAtuRe has made that switch into those speedlings, putting those into play to help counteract the speedlings here of Dice, and that is a very nice job coming out with some banelings here as well. This is looking very, very dangerous. I'm not sure what ReviLLuSion and Dice are going to be able to do about this right now. They look just drastically behind. We do still have this expansion over here that I don't think the Double Zerg team is aware of quite as of yet, but still, they have just taken so many losses. This is quite devastating in all honesty. The amount of damage being laid down right here. I mean, in all honesty, look at Dice. He's lost his queen right now, lost the majority of his workers. We do still have a couple of bandits right here. Does want to try to engage with those minions. We do have ReviLLuSion microing back. He does finally have Stimpak in play, and that will help him deal with those light units, but still not going to help him much at all against all these roaches. KreAtuRe and Goat just massing roaches into the main base here of our Zerg and Terran team, and we will see a mass repair going down to the siege tank. The siege tank can do a lot of damage to these roaches. If it gets repaired enough, it could just take out a massive amount, but never mind. Finally gets dropped there. Goat deciding to target fire it down, which is of course the right move there, and unbelievably Dice managing to come back with some units because of this extra expansion that he had fully mining, and was able to finally mop up the last of those roaches right now. Now we do see Goat as well as KreAtuRe moving across the map, and KreAtuRe will be moving in the expansion of Dice, and Dice is again looking to be in trouble. He needs to save this. This is his only fully running economy right now. Getting a full surround first on the queen, then working its way into the drones, pulling on over into the corner. We will see some banelings over there. I actually almost expect that in just one moment. He's saving those for kind of a later date, and there we go. Dice mopping up some of the units, but still look at these Zerglings from KreAtuRe sitting over there. I do expect those to come into play at some point in the future, and wow, look at that. You can see how many losses right now that the Terran and Zerg team have taken. Both Dice and ReviLLuSion just been under constant aggression from the double Zerg team, KreAtuRe and Goat, and just very nice play in all honesty. And by both of them, the aggression that we've been seeing from KreAtuRe and Goat has been impressive, but in all honesty, the fact that ReviLLuSion and Dice are still in this game, they haven't been completely knocked out yet, is pretty unbelievable. They've been pretty resilient and done a decent enough job of defending. We can see ReviLLuSion right now. Looks like he did lose quite a few buildings. I saw a lot more barracks there than are there at the moment, but no, never mind. We do have some barracks here repositioned at the front, so that's where a couple of them did manage to go. A couple of speedlings over here of Dice mopping up the Zerglings that were grabbing that tower. He does, of course, want to try to maintain control of at least his half of the map, if at all possible. One speedling grabbing the tower over here as well, so we do have the double Zerg team will be aware of these Zerglings pulling on in. That's allowing those roaches to move down and actually try to confront them if at all possible, but obviously those speedlings a bit too fast for those roaches, and we'll be trying to circumvent those roaches and move right up into the main base. We'll be taking a poke or two from that spine crawler, but moving into the main, and the good thing about this here is that he is checking the tech. Surprisingly, he is trying to get a little bit of damage off, manages to kill the queen. Very nice there from Dice, and just will continue to maneuver himself around this area and try again to get some scouting done. He wants to check the tech, see if anything fancy or funny is going on, and we did just see actually a purple ping go down from ReviLLuSion down in this position. He's basically telling his Zerg ally, hey, check that. There we go. Gonna be target firing down the banelings. Is he gonna drop it in time though? Roach is target firing down the Zerglings one bit at a time, and does he drop it? No. Baneling Nest surviving there with just a little bit of HP. We did have KreAtuRe's queen transfuse out as well. I think it was left with about 20-something HP. We do need ReviLLuSion to drop those depots. There we go. Allowing those Zerglings there of Dice to push out, and while I wouldn't be too surprised if he tries to actually pull back in with these speedlings and try to actually take that out, because that would have been huge if he managed to drop that, and he did come ever so close right now. Still trying to scout at that position, blocked by the roaches. It will force him to go into the main, but that's not the worst of things, because I think he will go straight for that Baneling Nest. Again, he's got a great opportunity to drop it. Here we go. See you later. Baneling Nest gets dropped. Very nice play there by Dice. Killing off that Baneling Nest is quite impressive, trying to get around those roaches, and I think at this point he will try to actually push off into that expansion. No, never mind. Deciding not to check it. Do we have any sort of a check? Yes, possibly a scan. I'm not sure. I don't think any Zerglings got in there, so that must be from a scan or two from ReviLLuSion. I'm going to go ahead and assume that that is what happened. I could be wrong, though. Some Zerglings could have snuck in there. There's quite a lot going on, so it's really hard to pay attention to everything that's happening at every moment. On top of that, there was some crazy-ass thunderstorm going on outside, and I forgot to close the window, so I might have to, if I hear some nuts thunder and start getting pelted with rain, I might have to take care of that. But anyways, yes, what an intense game so far. Very, very happy to have gotten sent this. I don't know actually which one of these players is the one that sent it to me. I try not to pre-screen these at all, and I try to avoid any name dropping as well. That way I don't know what side actually sent the replay and anything like that. So it doesn't give me any kind of favoritism to any of the teams. We can see right now trying to do some sort of a Marine medevac drop can be very effective against Zerg players as a Terran player. So trying to incorporate that against a double Zerg team in 2v2s is obviously going to be a smart idea. So hopefully we do see ReviLLuSion try to keep that up. Again, just dropping one medevac filled with Marines, maybe in this position, stimming him up and then running right into the resource line. You can do devastating amounts of damage. We do have Dice knocking out at the back. Rocks right here, trying to move into the back base of Goat. Goat is aware, though, and look at how roach heavy he is. Now, these roaches, again, very, very strong against the Speedlings, but the major danger for our double Zerg team is that the Speedlings are so much faster, and it looks like both players are pretty much sticking roach heavy. We do have a couple of Banelings being thrown into the mix, and that will help deal with these Zerglings quite a bit more. Did we have a recreation? Yes, we did. The Banelings Nest did, of course, come back here for KreAtuRe. Still not a whole lot besides that. Look like we're just seeing Speedling, Baneling, Roach from the double Zerg team. Now, back over here, let's take a quick look at ReviLLuSion. Looks like Tank Marine will be his build. Of course, very strong against a Zerg opponent, so why not use it against double Zerg? We do have another factory coming into play, trying to increase the production of those tanks. Spotting that back wall with the depot, obviously always going to be a good idea, and it looks like Dice is coming out with another expansion as well. Would really like to see ReviLLuSion move into one more expansion. If he could move down here. There we go. Look at that. Right as I mentioned it, lifting off an orbital command that he had built inside of his base, and we'll be moving over here. In all honesty, though, a little bit surprised he went with the orbital command, given the fact that, you know, this base is a little bit separated from the main path, the main area, which is the center, right in front of your two main bases. It's going to take quite some time to reinforce and defend this expansion. A planetary fortress would help kind of bolster the effectiveness of that expansion and let it survive a little bit longer. And there we go. Actually managed to only lose one Marine in that engagement and then lifting off the rest. Still, again, I want to see him actually move down and be aggressive with this. Hit the economy. If you can do that, you can do a lot of damage. Look at all these roaches. Couple of Banelings thrown into the mix as well. This is a big push coming out right now from Goat and KreAtuRe, moving right in the tank line. Needs to be careful, though. Tanks can do a lot of damage. We do have a decent tank spread. Stim going down for those Marines. Banelings rolling right into a big group of Marines, taking out a couple of those tanks as well. There are a lot of roaches right now. Goat and KreAtuRe will take out this expansion. There is no doubt about that. But we do finally have some reinforcements here from Dice. There we go, trying to go from the back end of those roaches, try to do a bit of damage. They have an opportunity to try to even up the numbers right now, but again, look at how quickly those roaches tear through those Zerglings, but still some decent force of Marauders. We do have 3 Marauders right now, and they are doing a lot of work with those medevacs, healing them up. There we go, finally engaging with the SCVs. I think they might be able to defend this, but at what cost? ReviLLuSion has taken a lot of damage right now, losing most of his force, and will be losing a ton of workers here as well. Roaches of KreAtuRe and Goat not target firing down the units, focusing there on those SCVs that allowed him to actually fend this off, and a couple of Speedlings moving in to mop it up as well. And again, attack has been defended, but we do need to see some damage here from our Zerg and Terran team because they haven't done a lot of damage. A couple of free Overlords here. Goat, unfortunately, pulling Overlords down. Did get those sniped down by those Marines. We do have a bunch of SCVs segueing down into this expansion here in the bottom left because he is pretty much near mined out at the high yield expansion. There we go, finally pushing out with a counterattack. Can he do any damage, though? The Speedlings did not want to engage before the forces of ReviLLuSion actually managed to pull on in. You do need to fight as one big cohesive group when you move into big engagements like this in these team games. It really doesn't make a lot of sense to go fight and try to be a lone wolf by yourself because it doesn't really work. Again, 2 armies versus 1 army. We can see right now Goat and KreAtuRe versus just the army of ReviLLuSion, and the units here of Dice just kind of dancing around, and that's not what you want to do. You have to fight together, and that's exactly what we've seen Goat and KreAtuRe do all game, and I think that's why they've been pretty successful up until this point. I mean, they've pretty much been the offensive team this entire time. We haven't seen much offensive at all, except for maybe Dice's Speedlings runs and trying to snipe down a few units, and here we go, finally another big engagement, dropping down and taking Banelings right to the bulk of those Marines, and ReviLLuSion down to only just a few units left. He does not have enough. Finally, Dice pulling down to help his buddy out, finishing mopping up those roaches, but you know what? We haven't seen many economic losses at all. Let's take a look here at the income. I mean, in all honesty, Goat and KreAtuRe sitting in a very strong spot economically. They do have saturated expansions that haven't taken much of a hit at all, and I really think that that's why they are in the better position out of these two. Let's take a quick look again at that income tab. We do have a strong income here, and actually Goat pretty low. I wonder why that is. I guess because he's pretty much only on one mining base right now. That certainly has something to do with it. But again, we haven't seen any offensive at all from ReviLLuSion and Dice, and that's something that I definitely would really like to see. Although giving them a full credit of being just absolutely resilient, because they have stuck in this game and they have not given up yet, even though they've taken the brunt end of some pretty aggressive attacks. And finally, here we go. ReviLLuSion will be pushing out for some aggression right now, and this is what we have been waiting for. This is the moment we've been looking for right now, pulling out with his teammate here. Again, Dice just sticking to the speedlings. How are upgrades looking? We are 2-1 right now for Dice. ReviLLuSion 0-0 for the mech and 0-0 for the bio. So unfortunately, ReviLLuSion going with no upgrades, and I can't say that that is the best of things. Definitely would like to see him with some upgrades. It's obviously going to help quite a bit. One Marine pulling on over just to grab the tower. Very nice there by ReviLLuSion. Finally, some infestors in play. Ton of banelings, couple roaches here as well. This is looking to be a pretty potent mix. He just has to pretty much be careful about walking into the siege line. And there we go. Speedlings will be pulling right into the expansion of our double Zerg team. And they've got a great opportunity to do a lot of damage. We'll be sniping down this hatch very quickly. Finally, some roach and speedling reinforcements. Hatch is gone, though, from Goat. Speedlings making their way out of there. Banelings rolling right into a ton of the bio. We have some more bio sitting over here, though, pulling on down. Tanks getting caught on siege. That is dangerous right now. Managed to take down a couple of those banelings. Roaches are pushing forward. We do want to see those infestors not engage with those tanks, and the KreAtuRe left the game. He just lost a ton, and there we go. Goat leaves the game as well. And right as I end this cast, the thunderstorm is picking up. If you guys can hear thunder in the background, then that's pretty intense. But anyways, what a game here between ReviLLuSion, Dice, KreAtuRe, and Goat. Again, the entire game we saw just absurd amounts of aggression from Goat and KreAtuRe. And this whole time until the very end, that very last push, both ReviLLuSion and Dice were just defending themselves, trying to work on their economy, trying to get any advantage whenever possible. We saw Dice do a bit of sniping, taking out the baneling nest, taking out a queen over here, just trying to do a bit of damage whenever possible. But that final last big engagement, losing those infestors was a big problem, and just very nice play all around. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this. Once more, if you guys have some great team games of the Masters League, Masters level play, go ahead and send them to me at 4strategygaming.com. You may very well see yourself in one of these commentaries, or maybe even a team gameplay strategy video. As always, guys, if you like the content, please do go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Keep watching and keep owning.